Ever feel like there's like a hidden heartbeat to the universe, something connecting us all?
It's a fascinating thought, isn't it?
That's what we're diving into today in the Urantia book.
Specifically, we're looking at paper 7, this section on the relation of the eternal sun to the universe. It's a deep dive, for sure.
And the idea that really caught my eye was this spirit gravity. So we're not just talking about the gravity that keeps our feet on the ground here, right?
Right. This is different. Think of it like this. Just as physical gravity pulls matter together, there's this spiritual counterpart.
Okay, so a spiritual gravity.
Exactly. And it comes from the eternal sun.
And it affects, what, everything?
Everything in the spirit world, even, get this, the way our prayers travel.
Wait, really? Our prayers, you're saying there's a force guiding those too?
That's the idea. Section 7.1.2 of the text, it describes spirit energy as being unbound by things like time and distance. So picture this, sending a message across the universe instantly. No lag time, no weakening of the message. Yeah. That's kind of like what spirit gravity is doing.
That's intense. So it's not just some abstract idea. There's a real force connecting us to, well, something much greater.
Exactly. And here's the really interesting part. The text suggests the strength of our own spirit factors in.
So the more spiritually developed you are,
the more you're in tune with this pull, this spirit gravity, drawing you towards the eternal sun.
I gotta say, thinking about this in terms of like those moments where you just connect with someone else, you're totally on the same wavelength.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Makes you wonder if there's something to that.
The Urantia book, it actually touches on that too. It uses this phrase, spiritual cohesiveness.
Okay.
Between like-minded people. It's suggesting that those shared beliefs, those values, they create a kind of spiritual attraction.
So not just a feeling, but an actual energy at play. And this spirit gravity, it's not something easily disrupted, right? I mean, the text even talks about Lucifer's rebellion.
And that's a huge point.
Yeah.
Even something as cataclysmic as that, it couldn't disrupt the eternal sun's spirit gravity. It just shows you how fundamental this force is, how deeply woven into the fabric of, well, everything. You know, it's like how gravity shapes the physical universe, right?
Yeah.
This spirit gravity, it's what sets this bigger plan in motion.
You're really making me think. And the Urantia book, it calls it a divine plan, but it's not just one plan, is it?
You picked up on that. There are actually 3, all interconnected.
Okay, now that's where I get a little lost. 3 plans. How does that work?
Think of it like, I don't know, a tapestry with all these threads woven together.
Yeah.
The first one, it's called the plan of progressive attainment.
Okay.
That one's the Universal Father's grand design.
Right.
It's like the universe's built-in system for spiritual growth. And the eternal sun is like totally on board with it. It's this beautiful reminder that, you know, evolution, it's not random. There's a higher purpose at play.
And is this where those thought adjusters come in? Those little pieces of the Father within each of us? We've talked about them before.
Exactly. They're essential to that first plan, constantly guiding us. But then it gets even more interesting.
Oh.
With the second plan, the bestowal plan.
Right, right. This is where those paradise suns come in, right? Can you tell me more about that? It's always fascinated me.
Absolutely. So imagine this. The eternal sun, pure love, pure compassion,
right,
sends out these divine beings, these paradise suns, to live among creation.
Wow.
They're offering guidance, assistance.
Direct involvement.
Exactly, to evolving worlds.
So it's like we've got this incredible support system in the universe. I mean, we've got our thought adjuster, that spark from the Father, but then we've got these paradise suns, almost like mentors, beings who've walked the path themselves.
You've got it.
Wow.
It really shows you the lengths to which the eternal sun is willing to go to be a part of our growth.
And that brings us to the third plan, the mercy ministry. What role does that play in all of this?
Okay. So think of it this way. We all make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
We all need help sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where the infinite spirit comes in, the third person of the Trinity. And the Urantia book describes the infinite spirit as the conjoint executive of the Father and the Son.
Conjoint executive.
It's like they're making sure everything runs smoothly.
Okay. Oh.
So it's like no matter what we're going through, there's this force guiding us back to the right path.
I see. It's like having a safety net.
Exactly. There's always guidance, always support.
Yeah.
Even a little cosmic rescue if we need it.
I like that. Cosmic rescue.
It's a beautiful testament to the love and support woven into the very fabric of the universe, you know.
It is. And you know what? It makes me think about those times. Have you ever helped someone reach their full potential? or been a mentor, or even just offered support when things are tough.
Of course,
Yeah.
many times. It's always so rewarding.
It makes you realize that's what the Eternal Sun is doing, but on this cosmic scale, right? Nurturing growth, fostering love,
It's amazing.
guiding us toward our best selves. It's incredible. These three plans, they all work together to do that, to help us evolve.
It's a truly awe-inspiring concept, but it does kind of make you wonder, how do we connect with a being as magnificent as the Eternal Sun?
That's a great question, right? If the Eternal Sun is this vast, powerful being, how do we even begin to connect? The Urantia book even suggests in section 7.5.2, I think it was, that they can't interact with us directly.
It's almost like a paradox, isn't it?
It is.
The text makes a point of saying the Eternal Sun's, well, their very essence is just too pure, too powerful.
Too much for us to handle.
Direct contact would be overwhelming, at least in our current state. It's like, trying to look directly at the sun.
Oh, yeah, just too bright, too intense.
Exactly.
So what happens if they want to connect, but they can't directly? How does that work?
That's where those paradise suns come in.
Right.
Right.
You mentioned them earlier. They're like, what, ambassadors?
Think of it that way. Each one embodying some aspect of the Eternal Sun's nature, but in a way that we can, actually grasp, interact with.
It's like they make the infinite accessible.
Exactly.
So they're like specialists, each with their own unique thing to offer.
Precisely. You've got those creator suns. They're the ones who help, create, shape entire universes, actually.
Wow. Section 7.6 talks about them, if anyone wants to look it up.
Talk about an impressive resume, right?
I was just thinking that. And then there are the magisterial sons. Now, they're the ones who help decide who moves on to the next stage of spiritual evolution.
Yeah, they play a crucial role in that whole ascension process.
Yeah.
It's all about ensuring justice and mercy guide each soul where it needs to go.
And you've got to figure that takes some serious wisdom and compassion to do that well.
Absolutely.
Oh, and we can't forget those Trinity teacher sons. Everyone needs a good teacher.
Always.
And these sons, they seem dedicated to making sure we're all, learning, growing in our understanding.
Like a cosmic classroom.
I like that.
With lessons unfolding across time and space. That's how the Urantia book describes it anyway.
Here's what gets me, though. The text also says that the Eternal Sun is in constant communication with all of their sons across time and space.
Wow, that's a lot of messages.
Can you imagine? It's mind-boggling. The amount of information, the experience being shared, it's almost too much to comprehend.
It really speaks to how interconnected everything is, on a spiritual level. Like a network of wisdom and support we can barely even fathom.
It's truly amazing. And if that weren't enough, the Urantia book describes something called the ultimate bestowal. It's where the Eternal Sun sends a part of themselves to experience life as a mortal.
It's incredible.
A being of such power, choosing to know our limitations, our vulnerabilities.
It's humbling, isn't it?
It really is. So, after this incredible deep dive into the Eternal Sun, what's the takeaway for everyone listening? What do you hope they hold on to from this?
I think the most important thing is remembering that the Eternal Sun isn't some distant, uninvolved deity,
Right.
They're invested in us, in our growth, guiding us, even when we don't realize it, towards that ultimate source of love and truth.
It's actually really comforting to know we've got this incredible support system, this network of love around us all the time. Makes you think, what would you even ask the Eternal Sun if you had the chance?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
What mysteries would you try to unravel? What wisdom would you seek? It's something for all of us to ponder.
It is. Well, this deep dive into the Eternal Sun and the Urantia book has definitely left me with a lot to think about. Until next time, everyone, keep seeking, keep questioning. You might be amazed by what you discover.